Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. Hope you're having a great day. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Kartik, and as of this recording, it's the 4th of June of 2020. And believe it or not, it's day 80, day 80 of quarantine in Spain. Yes, it is true that the restrictions have decreased, but it's still not back to normal, obviously, as you can guess. And I really don't think that it can get back to normal because, honestly, let's be real, this is the new normal. So, as of right now, it's 24 degrees Celsius in Madrid and it's getting hotter. It was 30 a few days ago, but it's been raining heavily for the past 2 days, so it's a bit cooler now, but it's still hot. It's kind of in that middle ground where you cannot sit without a fan, but if you put a fan, it's cold. So what we do is you put a blanket and then you put on the fan. So today we're going to talk about something that I've been working for the past 5 months, close to 6 months, and I can't wait to talk to you about it. I can't wait to show you what it is. But first, let me know what you think about the new intro. So, what do you think of the new intro? Let me know in the comments below. I really would like to know what you think. So if you have seen the first vlog that I made a few months ago, I think it was in March if I'm not wrong. And if you haven't seen it, I'll link it up here. And if you haven't seen it, do check it out, in which I talk a bit about myself and why I'm here, what am I doing in Madrid. So to give a quick recap of that, I came to Madrid in February, the first week of February, as part of a student exchange program that I'm doing in collaboration with my university and the Madrid Technical University here. As a part of that, I was working in a lab for the past few months, but technically I didn't work there for the past few months. I've only worked there for like a month and a half before COVID-19 quarantine started, but I've been working from home. I was doing my bachelor's project here in Madrid, and my project was mainly based on something that is a huge problem nowadays, something that you call antibiotic resistance. I don't know how much the people watching are familiar with it, but to explain it briefly, it is how any type of microorganisms develop resistance towards the action of the drugs that we take to kill them or inhibit them is called antibiotic resistance. So the drugs that we usually take when we have a bacterial infection, when the bacteria tends to not be affected by it, that's what we call antibiotic resistance. And I'm working on a project where we are trying to decipher how bacteria does this actually. There are a lot of ways in which bacteria do it, so we are trying to focus on a particular mechanism and how that unfolds in the bacteria. So that was my main project topic. And since quarantine happened, I couldn't even reach like somewhere with it. But luckily enough, I had a wonderful mentor who was very supportive, and he came up with an alternative where I could try to simulate that whole experiment computationally using a programming language. And it was wonderful. I've been working on that for the past few months and it was great. And the reason I'm telling you this now is my project submission and presentation was happening in the past few weeks. I had to submit my presentation almost a week ago, and my project presentation online was yesterday. I had to present it in front of my university, and I thought that since that was a very major part of my life, it's my first defense, it's a project, it's a thesis that I made for fulfillment of a degree. So I thought it's important to share with you guys the experience in the past few weeks, past few months to be honest, and let you know into something that I was doing and then that I'm very proud of, because it's something that I did for myself. I'm very proud of my work, and I would would really like to share that with you guys. So the quarantine in Spain started on the 16th of March, and since then I have not been back to the lab, and I've been working at home. And until that point, it was all going very smoothly. I was going to work 5 times a week. It was fun. I loved going to the lab, the journey going there, taking the bus, taking the metro. It was all really fun. And then the whole situation, quarantine situation happened. And what that did is it kind of put a halt on my regular schedule. There was a schedule. I was following a routine. I had to wake up in the morning, go to the lab, work, come back. Then I would watch some movies or watch some series, and I had a routine. And then this happened, and the whole routine changed. Like, I was waking up late, I was going to bed late, my food cycle was messed up, my sleep cycle was messed up. I don't know if you have noticed this, but when you follow a particular routine, you tend to be more productive. And when that routine breaks, your productivity drastically decreases. So what I was experiencing was a large decrease in productivity. There were days when I just did nothing the whole day. I would just be on my phone or on my laptop, watch some movies, watch YouTube, and that was it. I didn't do anything. And after a few days, it started hitting me that I was being very unproductive. So to get back into the flow, I started reading books on my phone. And I finished one book in 1 month. The old me, when I used to read a lot of books, I could read a book in like a day or two, but now I couldn't. And I tried a lot, but there was this problem. I wasn't able to focus, give my 100%, and that is something we call procrastination. So I knew I had work, but I was keep on pushing it towards the end. I knew I had to start working on my thesis, because once the deadlines came in, I knew there wouldn't be a lot of time to work on it, but it happens, man. You can't do anything. So there was a lot of procrastination. I watched a few seasons of Friends again, and then me and my roommate, we binged watched How I Met Your Mother, the whole series, season 1 to 9. We binge watched the whole thing, and then I finished watching Money Heist, the whole thing twice, and all that in the span of 1 month. And then when April started, the first week was fine. I was slowly starting to build my routine back up, and that's when the deadlines came in, because all the universities are messed up right now because of this whole COVID situation. So then my college gave me a deadline that I had to submit it within a specific date in May, and that's when it started sinking in. And then I informed my mentor here, and then he realized that I did not have enough data to present a full-fledged thesis. So that's when we started working on the computational model that I told you about earlier. And then we started working on that, and that kind of brought me back into pace. And what that did is, and yet again, because I know myself, I know how I can work, I know what I can achieve in a specific amount of time. The first 1 week when the computation simulation started, it was great. I was working the whole day, but then again this slowly sinked in, and that it happens to everybody, and I am guilty about it. I do feel bad, because that put a lot of pressure, a lot of work that I had to do in very short span of time. And so I had to submit an e-copy of my thesis on the 3rd week of May. So I started writing my thesis on the beginning of May, and it started off great. I was very proud of because I had enough time. I knew I had enough time to write it. I am a good writer, so I didn't have a lot of trouble writing it. And then I started writing it. I started enjoying writing it. And then the first 2 weeks went great. I submitted the first draft to my guide, and then he made some corrections. I made a second draft. I sent the second draft to them, and then they corrected it again. But it's not that I didn't finish my work. It was just a whole lot of pressure, because I remember that I had to submit the report on a particular time on a particular day in India. So considering time difference, we had to submit it earlier. We had less time than my friends back in India, and so there was a lot of pressure because the deadline was at 12 midnight, so that meant we had to submit it at 8:30 here. It was a whole lot of problems, it was a lot of headache, because it's a thesis you are submitting for your bachelor's degree. It's a bachelor's degree. Sometimes it still hasn't sunk into me that I am actually almost an undergraduate. I am 21. It's really overwhelming at times, but I know it'll slowly sink into me. It was a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of strain. I remember when I was submitting, I was literally shivering. My body was trembling. I was sleep deprived, I was food deprived, I was all sorts of deprived. But at the end, I submitted it. It was fun. I loved my work. I submitted beautifully. I wrote a beautiful thesis. And I was honestly very proud of myself because it was something I made by myself. So that whole thesis was 100% me. And so it was really wonderful. I felt really proud. As soon as I submitted it, I took a screenshot of my thesis and I just sent it to all my friends. I sent it to my family, and I'll show you the front page of that just because I really would love to share it with you. There it is. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's in focus, but and so that I submitted my thesis on the third week of May, and then we had to present it online, and that was yesterday, the 3rd of June. And as you probably would have guessed, I am a very stressful person. I take stress for everything. It's part of my life, so I was stressed out for this as well. My presentation was yesterday afternoon, and I presented my work. I had a time limit of 20 minutes, and then there would be question answers where I had to defend my thesis for almost 10 minutes, and it went really well. I presented very well. I was able to answer all the questions. It was great. I was very happy with how the presentation went, and it was great. It was much better than how I expected. I remember just right before the presentation, because I was scheduled to present at 11, so almost around 10:45 I was sitting on the couch. I could hear my heartbeat, and then I just took deep breaths. I took a few deep breaths. I had a chocolate to calm me down, and then once I started presenting, it all just sinked in. I was able to present beautifully, and I was happy with my presentation, and then it really went well. That's it. I just wanted to let you know about something that has happened in my life in the past few months, and something that I was proud of, something I want to share with you guys. I hope you like this video. Hit a like, it would really help me. Subscribe if you haven't already. That's it from me. I'll see you in the next video. I'll be posting regularly, hopefully, for the next few weeks. And so until then, take care, stay safe, stay home, and see ya.